So if you're starting your career right now, you're not just walking into an office, you're stepping into a world that's being completely rewritten by artificial intelligence. Seriously, the skills that used to be a sure thing for success, they're all being reevaluated. So if the old rules are out the window, what are the new ones? It's a really frustrating situation, isn't it? You do everything you're supposed to. You get the grades, you polish that resume until it shines, but the career you were promised just feels out of reach. There's this huge growing gap between what we've all been told matters and what employers are actually looking for in this new age of AI. A full 65% of employers are saying flat out that recent grads are missing those core human skills. This leads us to what you could call the 2D candidate problem. Think about it. Your resume, your transcript, your test scores, they're all just flat pieces of paper or data. They give a two-dimensional snapshot of who you are, but they totally miss the depth, the personality, and the uniquely human abilities that really matter. The real-world impact of this problem is pretty stark. Over half, 52% of recent college grads are underemployed. That means they're working in jobs that don't even require their college or university degree. They worked so hard for their great school exam, ACT or SAT results, graduated from college or university with a good degree or GPA, but those accomplishments didn't guarantee them a career that actually realizes their full potential. A test can prove you memorized a list of facts for a history exam, but can it show how you would handle a really tough negotiation with a client, or how you would rally a team that's feeling totally burnt out? Those are the 360-degree talents and skills that actually make a difference at work. Okay, so if the existing ways of measuring success are falling short, where do we even go from here? Well, we have to completely shift our focus. The path to success is no longer about trying to out-calculate a machine. It's about building up those durable human skills that AI just can't replicate, so that we can work with it as a powerful partner. At PitchSuccess, this is what we call the human edge. It's that potent mix of our uniquely human capabilities. It's our ability to come up with a totally new idea, to build real trust and connection with other people, and to be nimble enough to change course when things don't go according to plan. Your human edge is right there in the middle, at the intersection of three key areas: creative intelligence, which is all about problem solving and new ideas; social intelligence, for connecting with and persuading people; and adaptive intelligence, for being flexible. When things get complicated and challenging, that sweet spot where they all overlap, that's where you become indispensable. So, what do these big ideas, creative, social, and adaptive intelligence, actually look like day to day? We're talking about skills like having real presence in a room, communicating with crystal clarity, forging genuine connections, and being able to adapt in a heartbeat. These aren't just soft skills, they're the absolute must-have skills for today's world. But it brings up a really big question. If your degree and test scores don't capture these aspects, then what does? How can we actually measure our growth in these critical human skills and, just as important, prove that growth to the people we want to work with? And that's where our HCQ, or the Human Capabilities Quotient, comes in. Think of it as a brand new kind of credential for the AI era. It's not a static number you get once like an SAT or A-level score. It's a dynamic, living measure of your abilities in the exact skills we've been talking about. The skills that give you that incredible human edge. The PitchSuccess HCQ is built on three essential pillars. The first step is performance, because it doesn't matter what you know if you can't communicate it well. Next is preparedness, because you need to be well informed and up to date about where you're aiming your skills in a job market that's always changing. And finally, progress, because in a world of constant change, your ability to learn and improve is your number one asset. Here's the key. Building your HCQ isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. It's a continuous journey. You start by figuring out where you are right now, and then you jump into this powerful cycle of practicing, getting feedback, and growing. The real goal isn't just to get a piece of paper or certificate at the end, but to build a lifelong habit of sharpening these vital human skills. So what does all this actually mean for your career choices? Well, the goal isn't to find some mythical AI-proof job, because let's be honest, those are getting really rare. The real goal is to become AI resilient by choosing paths where your human edge isn't just a nice to have, but becomes an absolute necessity. And that's where a tool like our AI Impact Score is quite frankly a game changer. Instead of just guessing about the future, you can get a data-driven preview. Take a look at these sample roles. Some are in green, ready to thrive with AI as a partner. Others in red are facing some serious changes. This isn't about scaring anyone. It's about empowering students and career counselors to explore and make well-informed choices. So how do these role reviews and scores work? Well, it boils down to a few key things. First, how many of the tasks in a given job can successfully and reliably be automated? Second, and this is really very important, how much does the role rely on purely human interaction? And finally, what's the potential for the role to evolve and actually use AI as a tool to become even better? Now, that brings us to the single most important takeaway. If you remember one thing, make it this. Don't run from AI. Instead, lean into the very things that make you human. Build up the skills that lets you partner with technology, because that combination, that's what's going to be priceless for years and years to come. At the end of the day, just remember this. Your grades, your resume, all those test scores, that's only the tip of the iceberg. What really defines your future potential and what the best employers are desperately looking for is everything that's under the surface. So, I'll leave you with this question to really think about. In a world where technology can do more and more amazing things every single day, what is it that you, and only you, can bring to the table? What is your unique mix of creative, social, and adaptive skills? In other words, what is your human edge?